Never save money. Those were the first words my grandfather ever said to me. To a kid, they sounded wrong, almost dangerous. Everyone else preached the opposite. Save for a rainy day. Save for the future. Save while you still can. But he didn't argue. He didn't offer a lecture. He just smiled, with the quiet confidence of a man who had seen the world move. Then, he told me why. In his village, there was a man people used to talk about. Not because he was cruel, but because he was a professional at waiting. Every day, he sat beneath the same tree, watching the road, watching the sky. He had a catchphrase. One day, I will start. One day, things will change. But one day is a date that isn't on any calendar. Time moved forward, indifferent to his stillness. The house grew quiet. The pantry grew bare. Until one night, a child asked a question that had nothing to do with dreams. Is there anything to eat? There wasn't. That night didn't provide motivation. It stripped away excuses. The next morning, the man did the only thing he could. He sold his time. The work was brutal and predictable. The bite of the sun, the weight of the load, long, soul-crushing hours. At the end of the day, he received a small payment, enough to survive, but never enough to escape. He realized then that working harder didn't change the shape of his life. It only kept it from collapsing. So he turned to the one idea everyone agreed on. If you save your money, they said, you will be safe. So he starved himself to save. Coins were set aside. Meals were skipped. Shoes wore thin. Every clink in the jar sounded like progress, like control, like the future was finally being captured, 1 cent at a time. But time has a way of devaluing stillness. Prices shifted. The coin that once bought a sack of flour now barely returned a crust of bread. The jar stayed full, but its power had withered. The money hadn't moved, but the world had. One evening, on his way home, the man saw the truth. His neighbors weren't holding coins. They were carrying assets. Eggs, milk, tools worn smooth from use. While his coin sat idle, gathering dust, their possessions were busy, producing, repeating, growing. For the first time, he saw the difference between money that waits and things that work. He didn't wait this time. He took his savings and he let them go. He traded the idle metal for living things. A few animals, at first nothing impressive, but they produced. Some of it was eaten, some of it was sold. The returns were small, but they arrived every single morning. Slowly, his tomorrow stopped depending entirely on the sweat of his today. Years later, my grandfather held an egg in his hand and said quietly, "Money stops working the moment you stop using it." He wasn't saying that saving was wrong. He was saying that saving, by itself, is never enough. He didn't have to raise his voice. The truth was loud enough.